What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Now, if you're like me and you've been sleeping under a rock for the last few months, Ayesha Curry has gotten on a podcast and said basically that she didn't really plan to get married. Not fully quoting this correctly probably, but that she didn't really even want kids. Well, not until a later age though, considering that she had kids at a very young age. But she wanted to be a career woman, take her career off, really make a name for Ayesha, not being known as Ayesha Curry. Because in all honesty, we never really separate the two names. And yes, I believe that is 100% fair for her to have those thoughts. Not only have those thoughts, but even say it, right? Do I think it's smart to get on a public platform and mention that to the world? Even though she probably has mentioned it to her husband, I would say no. But when men express that that's not the best idea and that she shouldn't do that, women come to the defense, of course. Because every woman is a girl's girl when it benefits them. And I agree. I think that she should have the right to be able to say that on a public platform, especially if her husband's cool with it. But it seems like there's always a slew of women who are known for being someone's husband, talking on a platform saying that they kind of wish that things were a little different, Michelle Obama allegedly was one of those people at times saying that she kind of wished her career went in a different direction. And we all know Jada Pinkett Smith. These are all smart, educated women who claim that things would have been different if they hadn't got married, completely. But here's a message for all the women who are supporting that lifestyle and coming to, some form of agreement with it. Being your own woman sounds good and all, but a lot of you women don't really like that when it gets, tough. When you're picturing it, you're picturing being able to travel wherever you want, whenever you want, and running a business on top of that. When in reality, if you're running a business, it's gonna be hard to have hobbies such as traveling when you're gone for long periods of time. I use traveling because it seems like most people love to travel. And then on the topic of kids and marriage and all that, a lot of you women are just like men. A lot of y'all want to get your rocks off. So the idea of y'all never getting pregnant is only possible if you get, your tubes tied, Because we all know celibacy isn't even in y'all's mindset. Because like I said, y'all are no better than men when it comes to lust, of course. So basically living a life of that. Let's say you make it to the end, no kids, this and that. Well, women are easily influenced, just like men, I will admit. By the time you're in your 30s and you got a lot of the things you want, there's really no satisfaction in a good amount of it half the time. Like, yes, some women are their own people and they can come to the conclusion of, oh yeah, I just love being a fun auntie, But a lot of these women get baby fever real easily. It's kind of like when you go on a date with a girl and she's always bringing up how she wants a family, this and that and the third, like most women. But then she is also like the girls who are getting around who aren't staying loyal, on the ground. And that just lets you know where she really stands on that. Basically what I'm saying is I agree 100%. I think women should be able to make their own options. Not too long ago, they weren't even allowed the opportunities that they are allowed today. But, things change, right? My issue is women act as if they want to be just like men and have the same opportunities and the same consequences. When in reality, when women have a tough time getting something up, they immediately start to want to go back to I'm a woman, this and that, I should be supported, he should pay the bills, this and that, after being a whole, I got my own money, this, that, and the third. I notice it in a lot of relationships, right? Most men make more money than their woman. So when a woman is in a relationship with a man who's making more money than her, nothing's about money. But when she is making more money than that man, all of a sudden, she's always bringing that up. That's the main thing being brought up in everything. If everything wasn't so give and take in today's society, then the dating world probably wouldn't be as bad as it is. The idea of having a woman who just simply holds it down while getting the things that she wants out of life as well, because she is able to do that because it is a free country, is almost impossible to look at. And I know some of y'all might bring up discrimination in the workplace. Let me be honest, women. It happens to men too. There are times when women have gotten things over men because they were women in a male-dominated area, because men are weirdos, let's be honest. And about this whole Ayesha Curry thing, there's literally arguments on the internet, people hopping in channels, this and that, debating it. And then, of course, women do what women do. And when you talk about it, they say, oh, you want to be with Steph Curry so bad, go marry a man, go marry an NBA player. And then telling us that we're just jealous we can't make our own money, this, that, and the third. You know how it goes, right? And here's the thing. I mentioned this in one of the channels. Ayesha Curry does make a good living for herself. She has a cooking channel, I believe. I believe she has some form of motion outside of being Steph Curry's, wife. But the thing is, that's just the main thing you're known for, because he's a star in the league. If he was slightly smaller, like a role player or something in that aspect, then she would probably have more clout. There's a lot of NFL players, I think, that are in that same boat with their spouse. I believe Bradley Beal, even, his wife, has some form of motion outside of being Bradley Beal's wife. Another thing also, here's the thing, and y'all women are not gonna agree with this, but y'all know deep down it's true. If Steph Curry was like some form of role player in the league, like he never really got up to being the greatest shooter of all time, he never got up there with all the all-stars, never really won an MVP, maybe made a third All-NBA team, but then Ayesha was just this famous cook. Her recipes just blew up, like Gordon Ramsay level of fame. If Steph Curry went on another man's podcast and said, hey, I really didn't even want to get married. I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't even want kids, man. It just happened, and I was like, I'll stay with her. You women would be like, you selfish prick. I hate men, blah, blah, blah. Men ain't nothing. Men ain't this. Shut up and be a house husband, blah, blah, blah. You aren't even the breadwinner. Why are you talking? Like, you women would show y'all's true colors if that happened. And it's funny to me. And some of y'all are gonna be like, you know what? I don't 100% agree, but I'm also on her side, blah, blah, blah. And that's cool, because that's honesty. But I think it's pretty ridiculous that it's this big of an argument, right? I know, like I said, traditional households are no longer the thing anymore, right? Everyone is just pretty bad. It's only a few good apples, it seems like, for yourself, right? I think different people would be good for different people. I'm still surprised that I don't see an influx of women supporting what's her name, Jada Pinkett Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, she did something. Maybe that's because they can't find a way to really agree with her. If they could, they would, but they just really can't. But other than that, I think I'm gonna stop talking about it. I think I got a good amount of what I want. This video is gonna be pretty short. Thanks for watching. If you stayed to the end, like, sub, comment, whatever you want, have fun with it. And yeah, that's it. Appreciate you. Deuce.